go to talking about a possum, what else do you think of? Like its physical characteristics. What is it, baby? Possum does come out at night, but he didn't used to. We're going to get there here in just a second. Good, good. What's something else about a possum?
A bald tail.
Yes. One more time. Say it to where they can hear it.
A bald tail.
He's got a bald tail. Possum ain't got a hair one on his tail. Now, did you know that a long time ago, Possum had lots and lots of hair on his tail? He had the biggest, bushiest, prettiest tail that you ever saw in your whole life. He had a wonderful tail. It was long and bushy and shined with a light that came from within, okay? It was awesome. But Possum, he got real cocky about this tail. He bragged constantly. Y'all got one of those friends that's a one-upper? Adults, you just know what I'm talking about. You got that one person that you know at work that's no matter what you've achieved, they've done it better and quicker and more. This makes you want to punch him in the face in a nice Christian manner. Listen, Possum was like this. He was a one-upper. He bragged constantly. Everybody, have you seen my big, beautiful, bushy tail today? Have you seen it? Isn't it wonderful? Be showing it off to all his friends and everything. Well, they got sick and tired of it, the same as we get sick and tired of those one-uppers and like, you know, just hoof them right in the caboose. But instead of hoofing him in the caboose, his animal buddies, they all got together and came up with a plan. Now, back in this day, back then, long, long time ago, all the animals could talk. They could speak same as you and us. And then later on, they forgot their languages. They can still talk to each other, but they can't talk to us anymore because the language is different. But back then, when they could talk to one another, they sat together and had a council. This is a Cherokee story, so there's always going to be a council. They're going to sit in a council and make a decision. That's in every Cherokee story that there is. I don't know why. We just like sitting in meetings. Ugh. Anyway, I don't like politics or meeting setting or anything like that. But anyway, it's a Cherokee story, so they had to have a council meeting, and they had one about what to do about Possum and his attitude about this tail. Well, they get together, and back then, Coyote was the most clever of all the animals. He was really sharp and fast on his feet. So Eagle and Bear, they got together and they decided that they would put Coyote in charge of figuring out what to do. So Coyote goes and he meets Cricket. Now Cricket in this time period was the barber, and he was in charge of taking care of everybody's hair. Well, Coyote decides that he's going to go to Possum, and he tells Possum, he says, guess what, Possum? We're going to hold a big dance and a party for you and your tail. And Possum says, well, it's about doggone time that somebody realizes what's happening around here. It's about doggone time that y'all focus on something as important as my tail. I just can't believe it. This has got me, finally y'all figured it out. And so he's excited, right? And they take Possum and they take him over to Cricket's house, and he looks at Coyote and he says, what am I doing here? This is the barber shop. I don't need this. And Coyote says, listen, Cricket is going to throw some product together. He's going to make your tail just pow. It's going to pop. Everybody's going to love it. And Possum says, yes, I love this. This is a great idea. They're feeding that ego. You know, they're shoveling, and Possum's eating as fast as they can shovel, right? So Possum, he goes into Cricket's barber shop, and they make him a black drink. Make him some tea with black drink, and they put some sleepy root powder in it. Possum takes him a nice long snooze, like I like to take on my buffalo road. Takes him a nice long snoozy, and he lays down there and he's snoozing, and Cricket goes to town. He's working on Possum's tail. When Possum wakes up from his nice long snooze, he's got a beautiful pink ribbon wrapped all the way from his butt to the end of his tail, and there's a great big bow tied in it, right? Great big old bow. You can't see one bit of his tail. When Possum wakes up and sees this, he's furious. He says, wait a minute, people. They can't see my tail. How am I supposed to show off? Cricket says, whoa, wait. That's for the great unfurling. So what'll happen when you get on stage, we'll announce you. You'll reach down, pull the tail off of this ribbon, and your tail is going to gloriously burst from this ribbon, and everybody's going to see it in all of its shining, lustrous wonder. Possum is eat plumb up with this. This sounds fabulous to him. He is seeing stars. He's going to be like in Vegas. It's going to be Possum in big lights, and he's just eating this up to pieces, right? So that night, it's the night of the big dance, and Possum gets up on the stage, and he starts, the drums are playing in the background. Possum gets up on the stage in front of all the other animals, and he says, "Friends, are you ready to see my big, beautiful, bushy tail?" And all of them are like, "Wow, yeah, show us your tail. Wow, show us your tail." Wow, they're cheering him on. He's like, "I can't hear you. Are you ready to see my big, beautiful, bushy tail?" All of them are getting louder. "Wow, yeah, show us your tail." So he comes and does it a third time, and they get even louder. And Possum reaches down and he grabs the tail of the bow. He jerks it up. Ah! It's completely bobbed from one end of it to the other. Possum grabs his chest. He says, "Lord!" Ah! And he collapses on the stage with all four of his furry little feet sticking straight up in the air. And did you know from that day until this day, Possum, when he gets embarrassed, will pass plumb out, and he's never had another hair on his tail. Now, the lesson to be learned in this is to don't let your ego override your tail. Okay? Don't let it cost you your tail. It's okay to believe in yourself. Just don't go around being a butthole about it, or it'll cost you your tail. All right? End of my story.